Hey friends, my name is Oleg, this is Mr. Bond, welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video we're going to do our list of top 10 watches under $300 in the year 2020. The way we did this list, 7 watches we picked ourselves and the last 3 watches were suggested by you guys. I posted a story on my Instagram asking for suggestions of best watches under $300. We got quite a few different replies and the 3 watches that were suggested the most are going to be included in this video. Now, whenever you do a list like this, it's very difficult to compose a list because there's so many great watches. We did our best to select watches that are worth the money, that have great specs, that are kind of special watches, and also we tried to select watches from different categories. It's very easy to get very diver watch focused when you're talking about watches in a certain price category, especially in this price category. It's kind of dominated by diver watches, so we didn't want to be just the diver watch list. We tried to be selective and inclusive of other kinds of different watches. So with all of this out of the way, let's talk about our list. Citizen ProMaster priced between $150 to $230 US. There is a range in terms of the price because these watches do come with Eco Drive quartz movement from Citizen, or some of them do come with the Miyota 8 series automatic movements in limited editions. Like this watch right here, the one that I'm wearing on my wrist. I did a full review of this Citizen. It's a great watch. It doesn't have a sapphire crystal, it only has a mineral crystal, but it is an automatic watch with 200 meters of water resistance, ISO certification, a pretty good case with a pretty good finish, and a reasonable price tag of $230. But you don't have to buy the automatic version. There's also the Eco Drive quartz movement version, and that version is great. It is more affordable at around $150. Plus, I've seen them go on sale for as low as $80-$70 on Amazon. That's a great buy, a great price for this watch. It also has the ISO certification, great looks, and it is a serious diving watch. So I don't think you'll be disappointed with this choice. Boldr Venture priced at $300 US. Now this is a field watch. It's a smaller case at 38 millimeters, so keep that in mind. This watch is really for people that prefer smaller watches or have smaller size wrists. The NATO strap that the watch comes on is not the best quality, but everything else about the watch is top notch. It has this bead blasted finish to the case, makes it look very tooly, makes it look very tough. It has a titanium case, so the watch is very light, and the specs on the watch are pretty good. It has a sapphire crystal, as I mentioned, the titanium case, and a Seiko NH35 automatic movement. All of that for $300 US. Not a bad price for this type of a field watch. Plus, there aren't that many field watches in this price category with these type of specs, with this type of quality under $300 US. Casio G-Shocks, there's so many different models to choose from. Price ranges from $50 all the way to $300 plus. Now, my favorite Casio G-Shocks are the square face models. I have one in my collection. I have the solar one with the radio signal for the timekeeping. You don't necessarily have to buy a watch with these features. You can just go for the simple $50 one. They look great. They fit on the wrist really well. That iconic square G-Shock design. The quality is good. It's a plastic watch, tough as nails. You can pretty much do any activity in it. It's great for sporting activities. You could take it diving. It has 200 meters of water resistance. Pretty much anything you can throw at this watch, it will handle. I think every collection should have a G-Shock, or at least every collector should experience a G-Shock watch. I also really like their new Royal Oak line of watches, the nicknamed Royal Oak line of Casio G-Shock watches. Very interesting, and I may or may not have one on its way to me as we speak. I do have one coming. I'm so excited. Seiko Turtle, price ranges between $250 to $300 US. Now, Seiko Turtle doesn't really need an introduction. It's kind of the bigger brother of the Seiko SKX line of watches. It has the bigger case of 45 millimeters, although it does wear on the wrist really well. I think you should try one on before you rule it out as being too big, because these watches do kind of a disappearing act on the wrist. They do wear smaller than the size would suggest. They also have the ISO certification, 200 meters of water resistance. Still has the Hardlex crystal, so these don't come with the sapphire crystal. Usually they come on a rubber strap, although there are some models now available on the stainless steel bracelets. Bracelets quality is not the best, but it's nice to have the option. One of the standout features of this watch is the automatic movement. You get Seiko caliber 4R36 automatic movement, which features hacking and hand winding. In my opinion, that's a big upgrade from 7S to 6 automatic movement like you would find in the other introductory Seiko diver watches. Phoebus PY007 priced at $300 US. Here's another example of a great micro brand that is creating quality timepieces. The design elephant in the room is the fact that this watch is an homage of Rolex Submariner. If you can get past that, you get a great watch. First of all, the specs are fantastic. It has 300 meters of water resistance. It has a sapphire crystal, a ceramic loomed bezel, a high beat Miyota 9015 automatic movement, stainless steel case with the stainless steel bracelet, and the finishes on the case and the bracelet are pretty great. Of course, I did a review of this watch. That video can be found on the channel. It's one of my favorite Submariner homages. Seagull 1963. Price ranges between 180 to 300 US. Now these watches are kind of interesting because they are mechanical chronograph watches from China with the Seagull caliber ST 1901 mechanical movement. The watches are well regarded and well respected. Now I've seen them pop up on AliExpress and on eBay for around 180 bucks. The watches come with your choice of either sapphire or acrylic crystal, and there is a price difference between the two, of course sapphire crystal being more expensive, but the movement in the two watches seems to be the same. Also has 50 meters of water resistance. The size of the watch is on a small side. It's about 38 millimeters, so keep that in mind if you have larger wrists. But for that price, under $200 even, you can score a mechanical chronograph with a pretty respectable movement and, might I say, pretty great looks. Hamilton Khaki King quartz priced at around $265 US. This is the only Swiss-made watch on the list. Of course, you're not getting the automatic movement in this price point. You are getting quartz, but it's not bad. Not all quartz movements are made the same. This is not one of those Mickey Mouse Happy Meal quartz movements. It's a proper Swiss-made quartz movement that is very accurate. You also get a sapphire crystal, very attractive looks. Only 50 meters of water resistance, so keep that in mind. This is not really a sports watch. It's more of an everyday wear to the office type of a watch. You could pull it off as a dress timepiece because it has 40 millimeter case diameter and it comes on a leather strap. The quality of the watch is outstanding, and of course it comes from Hamilton, one of the biggest and well-respected watch companies in the world. So that was my list. Those were my suggestions for 7 watches to buy in the year 2020. Now let's talk about your suggestions. The next 3 watches are the watches that you have suggested for the best watches under $300. And the first one is Seiko SKX, priced at around $300 US. Now there's not much to say about this watch. This watch is so popular. Everybody knows everything there is to know about Seiko SKX watches. Some people love them, some people hate them. But the fact of the matter is they are discontinued now. So the prices have gone up substantially. They usually were around $200, $220 US. Now they're around 300 bucks. At that price point, that doesn't make the watch very attractive because it has that still outdated 7S to 6 automatic movement, no hacking, no hand winding. Also has a hardlex crystal, not a sapphire crystal. However, the positives of the watch are, first of all, the X factor, the overall legend that is Seiko SKX. Of course, the design of the watch is classic and it has 200 meters of water resistance and it is a proper ISO certified diving watch. Certainly is a great watch and I can understand why so many people have suggested this timepiece. It's one of my favorites. Next up, Helm Watches priced at around $285 US. Helm is a micro brand that I have no experience with personally. I tried to get a few watches of theirs for review. We would go in the email back and forth, but every time we would try to get a watch for the review, they will be sold out. And even if you look on their website right now, all the watches are sold out, so you have to go on the waiting list. Now the watches are sold out for a very good reason. They are good watches. I've heard so many good things about these watches. Once again, I have no experience with them, but I do have to trust your word. The specs seem pretty great. They have stainless steel cases, 300 meters of water resistance, Seiko NH35 automatic movement, a sapphire crystal. The finish on the cases look pretty good. Designs look really good. The only word of caution is the fact that the watches are larger. They're 43 millimeters in diameter and about 14 millimeters thick. So keep that in mind if you have smaller wrists or if you prefer smaller watches. And of course they are always sold out, so you have to go on a waiting list. My personal favorite out of the 3 different models that they have is Vanuatu. I like the design of this watch, I really like the set of hands, and the overall aesthetic of that watch. It just looks like a very tough tool type of a watch. I'm really excited to hopefully have one in for review in the near future. And the last suggested watch is Orient Kamasu, aka Mako 3, priced at $220 US. Now there is no surprise why this watch made it onto this list. And if you guys didn't suggest it, I would have put this watch on my personal list for best watches under $300 US. I did a review of Mako 2 and I actually owned Orient Mako 2. I really love that watch. It was priced at a lower price of $140 US, didn't have a sapphire crystal. So the new model Mako 3 has the sapphire crystal. It still has that in-house caliber F6922 automatic movement, hacking, hand winding, beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and from what I hear, it's a very good and accurate movement. I certainly had no problems with mine. I like the styling of the watch, I like the size of the watch. It has that good 41.5, 42 millimeter case diameter, so it will fit on the wrists of most people. The bracelet doesn't look that good. It doesn't look like they did much improvement to the Mako 3 versus the Mako 2. The clasp also could be improved, but overall for $220, the kind of specs that you get, the kind of quality that you get, and the brand name of Orient, it's very hard to ignore this watch and pretty much impossible to leave it off of this list. So that's the video. That's the list of top 10 watches under $300 to buy in the year 2020. Did I leave any watches off of this list? Of course I did. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. I always enjoy reading your comments. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. By the way, today on my wrist, as I mentioned already, I'm wearing my Citizen ProMaster Automatic. I did a full review of this watch. That video can be found on the YouTube channel. I will also leave a link to that video in the description below. Also in the description below there are 2 other links. The first link is a secret link, have a look if you're curious. The second link is a link to bondnativestraps.com. If you're looking for a good quality native strap and want to support this YouTube channel at the same time, buying one of these native straps is a good way to do so. And by the way, I want to thank every one of you who have already bought your own native straps. Really appreciate your support. It goes a long way. So thank you for buying the native straps and thank you for supporting this YouTube channel. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.